G'day. As most people know, most of the time, the last 8 months or so, all I've been doing is all grain. Running out of booze, and it's coming up to Christmas. I did an all grain batch last weekend. I'm doing an all grain batch next weekend, but this week I want to get a quick extract beer in. It's going to be a Coopers Pale Ale. It's all the stuff you can buy at the supermarket, except for the hops. I'm going to add some extra hops just to flavour it up a bit. Cascade and Amarillo. I've done a few things to prepare. I've got 5 litres of water on the stove, just about at the boil, and I've got about 8 litres of water in the fridge that I've put in old Coke bottles overnight, just to help cool down the wort. There's my bottles of water in the fridge. They're just old Coke bottles. I'll give them a quick rinse of sanitizer because they're old. I filled them up with water. I just whacked them in the fridge last night, so they're nice and cold now. I've also got some stuff in Star San here. Just a can opener, a mixing spoon, and a strainer, sieve. And I have the Coopers can just warming up in some hot water in the sink, just so it pours easily. There's the 5 litres of water just about to the boil. I'll just turn it off for a sec and mix in the light dry malt. I also have my fermenter, it's got some Star San in it. And the mixing spoon's in there, and that's ready to go. So first it's the 5 litres of water and the light dry malt. Just turn that heat off while I mix this in. You will get lumps, but they'll mix in. The reason I turn it off is that if any lumps sink to the bottom, they could burn and scorch onto the bottom of the pot. So I just don't want the flame on while I'm mixing it in. Let's turn the heat back on. Bring that back to the boil. At this stage there's nothing wrong with putting the lid back on to bring it back to the boil. Just watch it because it will boil over. While that's boiling, or coming back to the boil, as I said, keep an eye on it if you put the lid on it because it'll boil over. I'm just going to weigh up the hops, the Amarillo and Cascade. Now both of the additions are the same. It's 15 grams of Amarillo and 10 grams of Cascade. Amarillo, oh, alright, 10 of Cascade. As you can see, it can fluff right up, and you don't want that to go all over your stove. It's very sticky. But that'll settle back down again in a minute. Give it another stir. Make sure everything's mixed in, nothing on the bottom. Now you want a rolling boil, not too fierce. And just be careful when you add the hops because it could overflow. So my hop additions are for 15-minute boil and 1-minute boil. So the first one, what I put in, I'll set my timer for 14 minutes to the next addition. Now just watch because it could boil over. No, we're right. There's nothing wrong at this point in time of just making sure those hops get into the water. So I'll just let that boil for 14 minutes till the next addition. And just while that's boiling, I'll empty out the Star San, add shaker out of the fermenter and get it ready to put the wort in. So there it is, emptied, ready to go. I actually leave my plastic spoon in there. There's no point in me taking it out. All the mixing is going to get done in here with that spoon. Another thing I'll do while that's boiling, just to make the process a bit quicker again, is put some, now this is emptied, of sanitizer. I'll just put about 3 litres of cold water in the bottom of the fermenter, so when I add the hot wort there, it won't make the fermenter all go soft on the bottom, if you know what I mean. The hot water makes these fermenters go really soft. So I'll just put about 3 litres cold water straight out of the tap. It's just to help cool that wort down as fast as possible. Okay, that's the 14 minutes. The rest of the hops in. Set the timer for 1 more minute. Nothing wrong with a bit of a stir to get those hops in. Okay, turn the heat off. I'll just place that on, let that steep for a second. Take it off the heat. Okay, next step. Sieve, as I said, don't worry about the star sand foam. Grab the pot that we were just boiling in. You could just add the hops to the fermenter. I used to all the time, but now I'm kegging more. I'd rather not have the bits of hop end up in my kegs if I can avoid it. Now I'll just open the can of extract, Cooper's extract, and just pour it in, mix it in. A lot of people rinse the can. I don't, I just give it a good scrape. There's nothing wrong with rinsing it at all. Give that a stir. Next up, brew enhancer number 2. Small lumps don't really matter. The yeast will get to them, but you know, if you can just get it all dissolved, why not? And then the bottles of cold water. The old trick of spinning them round so you don't get so much splash, and it comes out heaps faster. That a good stir. This brew I'm only topping up to 21 litres. It's just worked out better with all my numbers. So I'll just fill that up with cold water out of the tap to 21. We need about another 5 litres or so. Look at that, 21 litres. Good stir. Again, I'll leave that spoon in there. My hands have been clean and sanitised the whole time, and I'll use that to stir the yeast in later. Now at the moment, I'm down to about 26 degrees, I think it is. That's too warm for the yeast. I've decided I'm using that sapphire yeast I have. So what I'll do is I'll go and put this in my fermenter fridge. I'll leave it somewhere cool till it cools down to around 20 degrees, and then I'll pitch the yeast. After that, you let it go for 4 or 5 days. I'll dry hop this again with some Cascade and Amarillo. Okay, you can see how quick that was. That took me less than half an hour to brew, and probably 15 minutes preparation besides the water in the fridge last night. My old grain takes all day, a good 6, 7, 8, 9 hours sometimes. But anyway, this should turn out a good brew. It should be tasty. I'll do a tasting video once it's ready. I didn't steep any grains this time. I didn't have any here to steep, but the Brew Enhancer 2 has the maltodextrin in it, and that'll help with the head and all that sort of stuff. As I said, in a couple of weeks I'll do a tasting of it, and I think you'll find that the head will hold fine. And now's the time, if you want to take a refractometer reading or a hydrometer reading, or whatever you use. With this sort of brew, I don't bother. I've done them enough times. All the ingredients are pre-measured. I know what's gone in there. It doesn't worry me. It's not for a competition. This is for drinking. It's going to turn out very nice, quick, easy, good tasting beer. But it's that temperature. You've got to get that down and brew that 20 degrees, even lower, 19, 18 degrees, but around 20, and you'll end up with a nice brew. You can use the Cooper's yeast without a problem. I've just got the sapphire yeast here, and I prefer that. I also wanted to mention, I'll put a link down below here in the information about the video to the recipe, which will be on the cellardweller.net site, if anyone wants to have a closer look at it and have a go at it. It's a good beer. Well, actually, that's what it is. It's slowly rising. Only slowly though. So it's actually probably around 24, 25 degrees. Just put it in the my fermenter fridge. That's the temperature probe. If I can get out of the light. And I've just got a little piece of wetsuit material or stubby holder material. Sticky tape to the side. You can hear the fridge is on. That'll cool that down in no time at all. Probably an hour or two. That took less than an hour and a half. And it's down to 20.2. That's fine for pitching. Just pitching Sapphire US05. It's not 100% that you have to stir in the yeast. You can just sprinkle it on top, but I just like to stir it in. I'll do it fine. Just spray the top of the lid where I just set it on the fridge. Star sand, just to make sure. And I just put a bit of star sand in the airlock. That'll do it. If you haven't got a fermenting fridge, that's okay. Maybe put 10 litres of cold water in the fridge, and I probably would have been down to the right temp. That's all you got to do. Or you can just leave it to go down to 20 degrees before you pitch. But that will turn out great. Cheers.